Hi, this is Charlie giving you Monday's market commentary, and I hope you're very well. And so, before we go into the commentary itself, just wanted to run through a little bit with you about stats and if you have strategies with specific win rates and the likes. How do you go about managing those strategies? And a good example was just back from on Friday afternoon, we took a trade in the trading room. Whereby the market had flown up, as you can see here. I've just taken us back to the time frame at that stage on Friday. It had flown up, and sometimes traders, once they've seen a market fly in one direction so far, they're reluctant to then carry on looking to get in on that long side because they think, oh, the move must be extended and therefore it can't possibly go higher. And don't get me wrong, I sometimes fall victim to that myself, or certainly feel reluctant to want to get in, even because I feel that the risks are greater by a certain stage of the market pulling back against you, even if you do try and get on the long side. But there was a certain strategy that kicked in whereby it says you must take the trade. And so we took this trade here into the bands on Friday afternoon. So even though the market it was quite extended, it pulled back into the bands. There wasn't anything else there. It wasn't like prior highs or anything like that there. So we had to take it on its own. But my stats suggested that I should take the trade. And fun enough, there were also some divergences up here, and also some other indicators suggesting that this was completely overcooked and that the market was going to have to roll over. And so, what do you do at that stage where some people may be saying, "Oh, actually, I think this is going to roll over or go lower," and yet your stats are suggesting that at least there should be some points in this move. So you have to follow your stats, follow your rules, and we got the bounce, and actually it ended up bouncing a bit more than I thought it was going to. It actually came up, didn't come up. I don't think it broke to new highs on Friday, but it certainly came out came a bit beyond where I exited that trade. But it's just a little lesson for if you've got a strategy with stats, try not to second guess, because second guessing your own strategy, there's certain strategies or there's certain setups that you take whereby you allowed that ability to be able to put a trade into context, whereas other strategies you just should follow if they're very, very specific. And this is one that was very specific, and so you have to follow. So if you have a strategy, try not to second guess it, because you have to try and stay with your stats as much as you can. And but that's a natural tendency of traders to second guess their own strategy, even if it feels uncomfortable at the time sometimes. Because you're probably better served by doing that most of the time. Anyway, that's where we were then. This is where we currently are on an intraday basis. Let's go back out to the daily charts, because I'd mentioned this lovely trend channel that we've got here on the euro dollar on the daily charts. Mentioned this on Friday's update, and so we've got we came up to the upper trend channel line, and obviously we're just reacting a little bit from that today so far. So we're going to have to see where we get to. We've got these bands which ultimately will need to come back inside the bands because we've stretched outside of them. But so we'll see if that does indeed happen over the next few days. But certainly we had hit that outer trend channel line, and so the probabilities do increase that the price is going to want to come back within that trend channel. I don't have too much more to say about where the price action may be going. I think ultimately we might still have a little bit more to go, but let's go out to that weekly chart, because I've got a feeling, yes, we have hit this target that I gave months ago, I think it was, which was ultimately the 100 week moving average, which we've now hit. I suspect we may still want to go up and try and at least take out this high here at some point. But coming back to the daily charts, we may just want to put in a bit of a pullback over the next several days with some ups and downs in between before launching the next attack. So we'll keep our eye out for that. And it's a similar situation for the euro yen as well. I said this is a very interesting chart. I said that we could flip over and do an overthrow of the upper trend channel line. But again, much like with the euro dollar, the euro yen has done this, and so again I'd expect it to come back within its trend channel at some point, and it may be just starting to do that here today. So certainly once we get out of the trend channel line, you have to be a little bit wary of the top side. Doesn't mean to say it can't go higher, but you have to be a little bit wary, because price does like to at some stage come back within its channel. Let's have a quick look at the pound. Pound's pretty sloppy. There's not really too much to say about the pound at the moment. Not got as clean a overall price action. But one thing I would say in general about the price action is that we've got the average true ranges have really increased across the board, which is great to see. So we're getting much better ranges, which is so much better for day trading and for swing trading as well. It just means there's more pips potentially in these moves. So better all round. Let's have a quick look at the S&P. It's a Monday. Do I have to do the S&P? Probably don't even have to do it. Now the S&P has had its highest close in however many years, 4 years now, and so it's got only 100 S&P points to its all-time highs. But we're just going to have to see. We are at obviously major resistance here. We're going to see how it's going to react. I suspect we're going to break through, and then just to properly take out the stops, which we won't have quite done yet, and then we'll probably get a pullback. Let me have a quick look at the futures off screen here. Just have a quick look and see where we are here. We're still holding it near the highs, so I suspect that the S&P, whether it does it today or not, I do not know, but very imminently I'm sure it will break out to new highs here since if we go back to last year. So here's our spike highs here. I'm sure we are going to break out to new highs. And that's it really. There's not really too much to say about the S&P. The trend's up, and so that's where we are for now. There's no major divergences that I'm currently seeing, so any pullbacks should still be seen as pullbacks within an upwards trend until proven otherwise. Anyway, have a fabulous week. Kim will be back in touch on Wednesday.